James, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We've been waiting to hear from the famous Market Theatre about how they were going to help us through the use of art to get through these difficult times. What have you got planned, and why have you decided to take this route?
Well, as you know that the theatre is closed, like all sectors are, and I just kept saying to the team, we might be in a lockdown, but stories are never on pause. So we've started a new campaign called Theatre Will Rise Again, and through that campaign, I've been able to commission 10 playwrights to create these narratives for us that are contemporary, that are looking at where we're at, and also just to be in touch with our constituency, to make sure that the visibility of the Market Theatre is still out there, and to our patrons to carry on curating and programming works, and it is really a delightful mix.
Now, we know a lot of theatre can be very, very physical, if not on stage, in terms of the numbers of actors in one play. During rehearsals, there is interaction between producers and directors and the team working on, the crew working on the stage production as well. How has this new normal of putting together these virtual plays, how has that been impacted by the lockdown? How are you going about communicating with the artists that you've brought in to put these commissioned plays together?
Well, it is definitely a new way of working. We are completely adhering to the stringent rules out there in terms of safety. And the new thing that I've never experienced myself as a director is it's a 2-week engagement between a director and an actor. And a lot of these plays that I've commissioned, they don't go beyond 2 actors. So the director is able to sit through Skype, through Zoom for a week and direct the actors in this piece with that distancing. And then the next week, they come to the market at the Barney Simon Theatre. And even there, it's just the 3 of them or the 2 of them. And they work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And whilst they're doing that, the designers are putting the set on the John Kani stage. And then on a Friday, we bring in a crew of 2 cameramen with high definition cameras, and they shoot this production. We're able to edit it during the weekend, and we load it onto our digital platform. So it's done with absolute safety. And yes, difficult as it is, but what it is that we are in a new era. When you talk about 4th industrial revolution, we are there, and COVID has just, in a way, just pushed that even quicker. And so we are learning to create theatre and not be nostalgic about how theatre is made. To create theatre now and say, how do we make it for now? And for me, it is very exciting that, because as a theatre, we can't go into slumber and just say, and we will wait, and you know, we carry on doing things. And what is lovely also is that we are able to pay the playwrights, the directors, the actors. We've been able to take some of our funding that was allocated for the first 2 quarters of the year, and we are also able to help, because it is a terrible time. Artists are not working.
Now, anecdotally, I've heard from those in the medical field that one of the positives of facing this terrible pandemic is that there's been a lot of sharing of intellectual property, of experiences, and the latest data across borders, across provinces even. Have you found that that's been the case in the theatre space, both in South Africa and the world? Are people sharing ideas and best practices of how to save this very important art form during this difficult time?
It's definitely like that. I've been in touch with colleagues who are artistic directors in London, in Liverpool, in places like Hull, in the UK, and we are just talking about, because we are dealing with the same problem, and the next thing that we're going to do is that some of the work that we are creating is going to be then given to the international theatre companies that we work with, and we will get theirs. And so it is really a time where theatre has the same challenge, but I'm loving the fact that some of these artistic directors I get to speak to, they have the same belief as me that one of the things that you can actually do for people sitting at home is to give them some amazing acting, some beautiful writing, some stunning directing as just a ticket to escapism, to dealing with where we're at. And you will see we've put together some really prolific South African writers and amazing South African talent that is going to be on these platforms. And one play that we're doing, which is called Love Everywhere, the Market is doing it, the theatre in London, the Royal Court is doing it, the Arena Stage in Baltimore, US is doing it, and the theatre in New Jersey called Crossroads. So we are also dealing with a continuum of the international linkage, which is something that I obsess on. I love the idea that we make theatre here in South Africa, it goes continentally, and we take it all over the world, so that we're not in a corner just making theatre in a myopic way in this country, and we're just exchanging. And I've been humbled by the playwrights that I've spoken to and the actors, and people are just jumping on it. And you will recall that we started with the monologues that we had, and I needed something that was going to be a segue from the monologues to something else. So we're doing this. After this, we're going to have the Jazzy July jazz sessions that, we do Jazzy July every year at the Market, and we're going into Shakespeare's sonnets. And our bilateral with dance also is carrying on. We have been in touch with people like Gregory Makoma. We're going to do some beautiful duets and beautiful solos. So this theatre will rise again. It is a campaign that I am running for this whole financial year. And because one is is very cognizant of the fact that we don't know when we will get audiences back. And for me, I'm driven by the idea that one of the difficult things for theatres to do all over the world is, how do you get people to come back and sit in the theatre? And if you're not visible now, you have a bigger problem there.
Okay, we'll leave it there. That's James Ngcobo, Market Theatre Artistic Director, and of course, legend of the South African theatre space. Thank you so much. What a great injection of energy I think we all could have done with that. And those in the arts world not giving up, saying that we're still here and we're intending on making sure that we're around for some time to come, even though you can't come and physically sit in the theatres to watch us. Go to the Market Theatre social media platforms on their website for details of those plays.